institutions. Okay, just to have a proper structured and what do you say, a systematic manner, a plan for awareness programs in this field. Okay. At the same time, before we actually we formed DBIT ISC this year, but before that, our ECEL, we call it as Idiots Box, is also very active, and we have been conducting similar kind of activities since the inception of ECEL on DBIT campus. Okay, so ECEL activities and ISC activities are in line with, because both are the theme is startup innovation and entrepreneurship. Yeah, so today's lecture or today's first webinar is going to be given by Miss Divya Mumia madam. She herself is an entrepreneur, and our talk is about women entrepreneurship. Yeah, and coincidentally, if you have seen the news yesterday, Kotak Mahindra Private Bank and Harun report, they have released a list of top 100 women entrepreneurs, right? Uh, is anybody able to tell me who is the top in that list? I'm asking student community, obviously. Can somebody tell who is the top woman entrepreneur as per the list for this year? Well, she is the chairperson of HCL Technologies, Roshni Nadar. Roshni Nadar Malhotra. Yeah. And her net worth is around more than 84,000 crores. Yeah, so that is the beauty of entrepreneurship. There is no limit to your wealth. Yeah, so just to give you what are the basics of entrepreneurship. Now, today Divya madam will give you complete idea about that. Okay, so I will like to hand over to them, but before that, let us welcome Divya madam for her presence and for accepting our invitation. Okay, you can just put your reactions of clapping on because we are meeting in online mode. Yeah, so I welcome all of you, Lokesh sir also, and other faculty members, all the students over here for today's session. Thank you. Over to you.
Uh, Now I request Professor Kalpita Vagaskar ma'am to introduce our speaker for today, CS Divya Mumaya ma'am.
Hello, Ananya. I think there is some delay from Kalpita madam side. Can you just connect with her?
Yes, sir. Just a minute.
No worries, I can keep giving my introduction in between as we progress. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay, ma'am. You can continue.
Perfect. So, good morning, everyone, and I'm sure my voice and the picture clarity is there. So, it's indeed pleasure to be amongst such a wonderful young crowd and to share my experiences on the entrepreneurship journey and what it takes to be an entrepreneur, especially women entrepreneur. But today I'm seeing we have a lot of boys and girls in this room. So I would be keeping it gender neutral, though we are talking of women entrepreneurship, we will be talking of their special challenges. But then entrepreneurship is all about the willingness, the zest you have. Uh, so give me a minute to just share my screen from another. Yeah. Okay. So by profession, I am a company secretary. I'm sure a lot of you might be knowing what a company secretary means. Uh, uh, Company secretary is a person who helps companies in their secretarial compliance, in their legal compliance, and overall ensuring good governance in the corporates. And as a journey, I have been a professional, an entrepreneur, a board mentor, independent director on boards of various companies, which includes companies like Motilal Oswal Financial Services, Arihant Superstructures, GTPL Hathway, and so on. I also chair IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry Navi Mumbai committee as a co-chairperson, and that's a small journey where I keep contributing to the society and to the community. I'm also empaneled with a lot of associations and organizations to impart the sessions on entrepreneurship, on intellectual property rights, so on and so forth, on the legal compliances, basically, what a corporate needs to be done. So my journey has been a kind of a roller coaster. And when we talk of the entrepreneurship, it's not always a gloomy picture. I mean, I'm sure when Pradeep ji mentioned about the Haroon list of women entrepreneurs, the top women leaders in India who are in terms of wealth creation. We all might be thinking their journey is so wonderful, they've created so much of wealth. But behind that, that status, there is a huge journey of ups and downs. So today we will be speaking some of the, characteristics, some of the do's and don'ts, some of the needs, and what exactly this entrepreneurship is all about, and how you can identify that how what is going to be that mix of entrepreneurship for you, which area you should look into, what are the strengths, what are the skills required for this entrepreneurship journey. So are you all with me? Can we have some kind of thumbs up or show of hands, or some unmuting by anyone who would like to share something, and then I start and go ahead. Anyone? Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So when I googled, when I was looking for women entrepreneurs, and when I googled women entrepreneurs in India, this is the list which pops up on Google. I mean, you all can go and see. This is exactly same what I've taken from there, and these are the names which are very prominent, which comes to our mind. And most of these women are also in those list of 100 women wealth creators, wealth. Creators in the country. Now, when we see this list, what comes to our mind is, the impact what they've created in terms of the not only the wealth, the employment, the opportunities which they've created for the nation overall. So I'm sure this list, inspires us to reach to a position where we are also able to create that impact. Now, when we see, I somehow love these statistics. And when we talk of the contribution by women in India, so in India currently, 20%, around 20% of women are the MSME owners, and which account for almost 23% of the labor force in India. And there is a statistics, or there is a study, which has been mentioned that by McKinsey, definitely, that if women participation in the labor force increases, India can, India can be potentially add 700 billion US dollars to the global GDP. I mean, this is something, which has been very, very positive news for all the women entrepreneurs. And we really don't know what our little contribution in terms of entrepreneurship can add to the nation, to the globe overall. Now, the present contribution of women to the GDP in India is only 18%. Again, it's not only India, but the world statistics says that even though 66% of the women form the workforce in the world, but their contribution to the world wealth or income is only 10%. And why do I say that, or why this study shows this result? Because a lot of women who do work, it's not rewarding. They don't get out of it. I mean, the work what they do at home, for example, that's not rewarding. Though there are I can say the factors which are beyond money, that is love, affection, a contribution to the family. But then that's not contributing to the income, world income overall. Now, how we really bring more and more women into the workforce so that they are able to create the impact. Now, if we see, Winston Churchill has said that pessimist sees difficulty in opportunity, and the optimist always sees opportunities in difficulty. So if we see this as a challenge, let's start and identify what are the opportunities here. So when we talk of the top 10 women entrepreneurs, we recently spoke about few people here, and they form part of the top women entrepreneurs in India. Now people might say that okay, in big cities it's good, you get a lot of opportunities to be a women entrepreneur, but now there is also a top women entrepreneurs into the rural sector, and we all know India is having a wider population in rural India than the urban population, though the ratios have been, it keeps changing overall. Now, these are some women who have created the impact even in the rural areas. For example, Anita Devi, she's called the Mushroom Lady of Bihar. I mean, the quantum, the business size may be really small, but the impact she has created in her own city or in her own town is very huge. For example, when we talk of the Chetna Gala, she has been doing, she's been a social activist and doing enormous work in terms of empowering women from, who really look for into the rural areas. Now, for example, I have met Pabiben Rabri in one of the sessions where she was a co-panelist with me. And she is a very, from a very small town in Kutch, which is in Gujarat, and she is weaving, or I can say the embroidery. She deals in embroidery work, zari work, and from there creating her own e-commerce business on a platform where she is able to sell her products even in the international market is something enormous. I mean, see, these people have not got the best of the best education. These people have not got best of the best facilities in terms of the infrastructure overall when they are starting their entrepreneurship journey. But what is it that is different in them? So let's try to understand, what's that different amongst these women or amongst the entrepreneurs. Let me, be very gender neutral. Though my, topic, what was given to me is from the perspective of women entrepreneurship, I'll keep it more gender neutral because the characteristics, the qualities, the skill sets which are required is for everyone, whether it is men, women. Women को शायद थोड़ा ज़्यादा struggle करना पड़ता है, but then the characteristics are same overall. So being successful is a personal choice. What is definition of success will be different from person to person. Now, a lot of people will say, I don't have capital. How do I start business? I don't have skill set. I don't have, the resources to start business. But then let me tell you, Jim Rohn has very correctly said that start from wherever you are and with whatever you have got. So I always, keep telling to my team, I have a team of 25 people under me who keeps, working for the secretarial compliances. We handle more than 300 clients into the secretarial and governance compliances for the corporates. And I always tell everyone that, whosoever may come and take your client, but they cannot take your hard work, they cannot take your luck with them. So what we have is our power, is our, commitment to work, is our, knowledge, the power what we have accumulated, the education what we have got, that cannot be taken by anybody. So whatever you have today, whatever is, and anything powerful germinates from the idea. Everything in the world gets created twice. One in the mind and then another is in reality. Just think of anything. I mean, when we talk of the electricity today, the Edison, when, he created the first bulb, that was something which in his mind, and he failed 1,000 times to get what was he wanting to create. And then he created, and we all have a different world today. So entrepreneurship is all about, the fear, the ambition, the mix of it. Always, whenever we start something, there is a fear. What if I fail? But again, there is an excitement or ambition that what if the world needs this? And that's where when this combination happens, the entrepreneurship gets emerged. Now, I'll tell you here a story. When, I worked in a corporates for 4 years. I was a company secretary for a company in Navi Mumbai. And then also, I worked with a company called Bombay Stock Exchange. And after my 2 daughters, I said it's not, right to have... keep struggling between the work-life balance. How am I going to, go to work, keeping my family, and then if I am at the family, my work will struggle. So I said I don't want to do that. And being Gujarati, business definitely is in blood, and that was the anxiety. I mean, what if I fail? And that time I told myself that what extreme is going to happen. I mean, I identified a place to sit to do my work, and coincidentally, with some connections we had, someone said that, okay, can you handle these 3 clients, for us? So that was my beginning, and today we serve more than 300 clients. We have a team. That time I started alone. Today we have a team of 25 people with us, and that's a journey. So at that time, what exactly similar situation what I had seen. What if I fail? And I thought of the extreme. Zyada se zyada kya hoga? The rental, which was at that time probably 1,600 or 1,800 for the 50 square feet office, where only one table could be fit in. Um, that much money is only going to be out of my pocket month on month if I fail. But then I took that courage and decision to go ahead and start. And today we have 2,000 square feet office where the entire team sits and works. So that's the journey. But you have to fight your failures. That's something which is important. Now, when we talk of the opportunities for entrepreneurs, today the world is changing at a very rapid rate. And we all have seen the way startup culture is changing. I'm sure the second speaker is going to talk a lot on startups, the compliance, the legal aspects, the entities, and that will give you a very great direction on how you start your business. But what I'm going to talk to you, there are enormous opportunities in terms of new careers, new avenues are getting created with so much of social media. Look at the digital marketing space, look at the financial services, the fintech companies are emerging. Even in jewelry, women can sit at home, create designs, create jewelries, and they are able to, sell their products online through e-commerce, through Amazon, Flipkart, so on and so forth. Textile fashion is changing. I mean, I think Misho is something which I'm sure a lot of you are aware. So what they've done is they've created the infrastructure for such women who want to sell on their products. Home food is, again, a big kind of a revolution which is happening. Everybody, there was a time where we were going out, and today we all want homemade food at home, sitting at home. So, then Zomatos came in, and then Swiggy's came in. The restaurants, are going and transforming themselves into the community kitchens, and the kitchens, basically the kitchen concept is coming up where they are only preparing food and delivering it. So there is no need of bigger spaces of restaurants. So the entire consumer behavior is changing today, and we, when we get so much of opportunities, that also shows that the entire world is changing at a very, very rapid rate. Today we live in a VUCA world. Anyone knows what is VUCA? VUCA? Anyone? Anyone here? You can unmute and speak. That would be great. Anyone here? Okay. So VUCA is, V stands for vulnerable. It's very, very vulnerable. U is for uncertain. Today the world is really uncertain. C is for complex. Look at the international 150 days, and we are still on. I mean, the world is still fighting. And very recently, I was hearing a news against about the Taiwan and China probably entering into such kind of scenarios. It's very, very kind of ambiguous world. We really don't know what's happening now in such VUCA world. It's very difficult for anyone to think of those aspects and build their entrepreneurship. But what is when in the next slides we will see is that we have to look within. What is our strength? What is our capability? And how we can encash the opportunities which are coming up. Definitely, VUCA world is a challenge, but at the same time, it is throwing a lot of opportunities. Look at the way the startups are raising funds today. Startups are creating disruptive strategies into the entire ecosystem today. So now, how do you identify what is the right opportunity for you? What is that right business? Now, when you think of this, ask 2 questions to you. what I want to be, but always ask that what problem I want to solve. We see so many problems around us today, and that shows us that what is it that I can contribute to solve this problem today. The world is talking about sustainability, the world is talking about social issues. Even the sustainable development goals have been created by United Nations, and there are 17 sustainable SDGs have been created that world will be achieving by 2030. And those goals are about the entire it's poverty eradication, women empowerment, the conservation of the nature, education to the poorer. So there are lot of areas, and in those areas you find the opportunities here. So when you're starting off, when you're thinking of creating the idea of the business, the entrepreneurship, what is it that now here we spoke, there is a need of more and more entrepreneurs. Now, how do you identify what are the business opportunities for you? Uh, what are the business opportunities for you? So, what are what do you want to sorry so what do you want or the need to get out of the businesses? What do you like to do? Always when your passion and your idea gets merged, that gives birth to a creativity, that gives birth to a business which cannot be failed, which cannot fail. And how you're going to do, what you're going to do, and for that what will you need to learn? So these are some questions which should come to your mind, and look at the businesses which have been emerged out of the pain areas. I still remember the days where we used to stand out and wait for the taxi, and the taxi will come and say, no, I'm not going to go that side, and we keep waiting, one taxi, another taxi. But today we don't have to wait, right? We just book Ola, and the driver is on your doorsteps. Now look at the Swiggy, Zomato. It's rain, you want to eat out, you can't go out. Look at the LinkedIn, for that matter. Everybody wanted business connections, everybody wanted to connect with each other, but then you were not knowing how you're going to connect to people. Now even for that matter, Nika, the cosmetics, it was very difficult to see what are the uses of that particular cosmetic, how it's going to be applied. N number of suggestions they have on the wide range of products, e-commerce, whether it is the Amazon or anything you speak. For example, Magenta is my client, so therefore I thought I should mention here. They are into electronic vehicles, the charging stations. Today the world is talking of sustainability. We are seeing the carbon emission to a very high extent, and that's where even government is promoting more and more of electronic vehicles. And that's where this company went and saw the opportunity that if the vehicles are there, where are they going to charge the vehicles, if they are in between two locations? And that's where they created charging stations. So they have collaborated with a lot of government undertakings. They've collaborated with Tata Motors, Mahindras, and name the big companies, and they have collaborated, and they're expanding very fast. So these all are into the startup space. Now, why we should have the entrepreneurship? We saw that there is a need of entrepreneurship. We have passion, we can do that. But then why? The most important, benefit of entrepreneurship is profit and money. And, my experience is that's the motive, that's the passion, that's the ultimate goal which drives all the businesses. I've seen so many businesses not succeeding because the profit or that money aspect of it is usually missing. The problems also come in because of the money issues. I mean, if the company doesn't have money, then they're not going to get the investment in a lot of areas. So the profit definitely is one of the driving factor that I want to be an entrepreneur. So probably, for example, I'll tell you, if I would have been an employment for 15 years, I would have got X amount. But today, when I'm an entrepreneur, I'm able to not only earn money for myself, much more than what I would have got, just by being in employment, but also I'm an employment creator. I have created jobs for so many people. I am contributing to the national growth. and also a wealth creator on my own. Though I have not created a massive wealth like those guru lists, but I've created the wealth which makes me in a very comfortable position in terms of my family, in terms of my circle. And the most important benefit which I saw, when I started my entrepreneurship journey was independence and managing my own time. I think that's, very, very critical aspect for every woman, because life gives you a stage where you have to decide between a career, between a, job, between a family, between your kids, or, your in-laws families, and lot of, such commitments keep coming. And at that time, you really need that special time for yourself. You are able to manage your time. If you want to work, you are working. If you don't want to work and you want to give time to your family, I think that was my driving factor when I started my practice. I said, I had my family, I had 2 daughters, and I had my job, and I said I can't manage both, so let me find out what I can do. And that was my trigger to the entrepreneurship. Now, some of the interesting facts, which these facts are available on the Startup India website. I'm sure you can go and check. This statistics might have changed a bit because my slide might be little older, but then almost 48.9% of the Indian population is women today, as per last census. And when we talk of the women startups, almost 35% of the directors of the startups contribute to be the women. I mean, that's a very good positive news. Now, one thing which really pinches, that almost 73% of the women entrepreneurs, they report the turnover of less than 10 lakhs annually. अब उस 10 lakhs में से आपके खर्चे हैं, आपके employee cost है, आपका business cost है. So we really need women to upskill themselves in such a fashion that they are able to cross this barrier of 10 lakhs. And 73% of women, if they are below 10 lakhs, is a definitely red flag. And we definitely need to work on bringing more women entrepreneurs, and not only bringing as an entrepreneur, but also helping them grow. So that's probably my way of contributing to the society, where I, if a women entrepreneur comes to me, I don't charge them as fees as I charge to other entrepreneurs. So that's something, what we can contribute from our end. Now, 71% of the women employ people who are, employ less than 5 people. So that's again about the scalability issues of women. But then these problems can be definitely solved by, grooming them, upskilling them, making them aware, giving them the resources they need to scale up, which includes, most important, funding. There are a lot of schemes which are available, policies which government has been doing it. But again, I'm sure the next speaker, is going to take up a lot on this part, so I'm not going to get into that. Now, there are some statistics, characteristics of 21st century entrepreneurs. Which are those characteristics? I'll, go into that. The entrepreneur has to be, now these are some characteristics you need to check in, whether, what are your characteristics which are matching. If some characteristics are not there, look how you can develop those characteristics. So first and foremost thing is, recognize and take advantage of the opportunities. You should be opportunist. You should know how to grab a particular opportunity. You should be resourceful. For example, it's not necessary that you always to go to a client to take business. You can always, when you're going to a client, you can always tell them that, okay, I can help you here. But if you have these 5 problems, you can also refer to this person. If you have a HR problem, I can help you connect with, so-and-so HR consultant who is very good in this business. And he can help you solve all your HR problems. That's not your job to, give him some resource. But then if you are going and adding value, even in the areas which are not required, your worth also increases. So you need to be resourceful. You need to be creative. Always, you see the startups, they come out with the ideas which are not, in the market. And that's where the creativity comes in. Visionary, you need to think of the future, the world after 5 years, world after 10 years, what they're going to need. And that's where your entire team, your employees, even your customers are going to follow you. You need to be optimistic, hardworking, risk taker. Very, very important. If you are not able to take risk. So, for example, I was teaching my daughter who is in 10th standard about the economy and the sectors of economy. And in that, I gave her the example that, for example, there are, two entrepreneurs. Both of them started a business in the same industry. For example, stockbroking. Now, one person, both started at a sub-broking level, they were sub-brokers to the main brokers. And one person today sits on the net worth of 10,000 crore, and one person sits on the net worth of, say, 50 crore. Why was there difference? This both started almost 30, 35 years before. But then what was the differentiator was the risk-taking ability of a person who has gone to the next level. Independent thinking, you will get as an entrepreneur lot of suggestions, lot of ideas, lot of inputs. But what is it that you want to do? What is it that you feel right? Has to be, very clearly in your brain that you should have that independent thinking that this is something right for me. I think I'm sure a lot of you might understand Marathi. So I have learned a proverb in Marathi which says "Aikave janache, karave manache." So this is exactly what independent thinking means. You need to listen to everyone, but do what you feel is right. And again, a persistent problem solver. A lot of problems will keep coming to you when you are entrepreneur. It's a journey, right? So the journey of entrepreneur is not always a gloomy journey. You will get a lot of entrepreneurs. You will get a lot of challenges in your entrepreneurship journey, and that's where you need to, kind of keep identifying the solutions to those problems. Now, what are the skill sets required? So, the most important thing is the planning skill, the marketing skills, finance. You need to understand finance. How does it work? So it's very easy to say, नहीं मुझे finance समझ में नहीं आता. But then going, learning, upskilling yourself becomes very important, which will help you to groom, manage your own finances well. So, for example, I have met a lady entrepreneur. She has her boutique, and she is very good in selling. I mean, if you go, go and buy one product, you go for buying a one product, and you will come out buying 10 products from her. Her marketing skills are amazing. But when I see her financial skills, she says everything is managed by my husband. I don't know. I can sell, but I can't, manage my finance. And that's where you can't grow because you are not in control of your finances. So communication skill, as I mentioned, lot of people are very good in communication, but they are not good in the financial, awareness or literacy. Someone is very good in finance, but they can't communicate what services they are providing, and they are not able to communicate and not able to generate the business for themselves. Again, motivation, when you have team, when you have your, employees with you, you need to be a continuous motivator, whether it is a sales team, whether it is a marketing team, whether it is, your HR team, whether it is your executing operational team, admin team, whatsoever you call, if they are not motivated by your words, by your vision, you're not imparting your vision to them, you cannot drive them for performance. And again, one person can start the idea, can start the business, but then that cannot lead unless your entire team is involved in that. एक बंदा एक लेवल तक एक दूर तक जा सकता है, but then if you want to go longer, then you need a team to drive it. So leadership skills are very important. Time management skills are very important for women, especially. You can't keep giving excuses to people that I had this problem, I had family commitment, I had this, and कोई भी एक बार सुनेगा, दो बार सुनेगा. Every time someone may not listen to your excuses. So time management skill also becomes very important. Now Forbes list, these are some 5 ingredients which every entrepreneur needs, the success formula. So this is a success formula: time management, stress management, sales, marketing, abilities. I mean, this is a continuation of the previous slide, but this was, these are the 5 attributes which are very clearly mentioned by Forbes. So I thought I should include that. And believing in yourself, most important aspect, ingredient of success is that you need to believe in yourself that I can do it and I have that ability to perform. Now, if somebody wants to be entrepreneur, when? What is the right time? The most important thing is start now. If you have an idea, start working on it now. It may take 2 years, that's fine. It may take 3 years, that's fine. It may immediately tomorrow, start yielding you the results. But then start now. If you have that idea, if you have that passion, you have to start it. Because as I immediately, in my first slides also I mentioned, start from wherever you are, whatever you have, and that's starting now. And keep postponing or procrastinating, will not, or either somebody else will take over that idea, or you will lose out your vision or your passion to that idea. How does the businesses grow? Most important part is network. You have to start networking, you have to start meeting people, and again, meeting right people, right time, right place is very important. And that's where the success mantra changes. Know what it takes, what resources you're going to need, how you're going to manage it, what is it that extra thing is needed. Balancing family definitely is very very critical aspect. You can go and do wonders out in the world, but if your family is not happy, if your kids are not groomed properly, it's going to give different results in the long run. Now let me tell you about my story. I have a wonderful mother-in-law, and the organizers need to tell me, I think, how much time I have, because it's already 11 o'clock. So accordingly, I'll wind up, though only 2-3 slides are remaining. Anyone here? Okay, so I'll try to wind up in next 10 minutes. Thank you.
Hello.
I have
Yeah, madam, you have time for maybe half an hour more if you can extend. Otherwise, it's okay if you wind up in 10 minutes.
No, I can extend till half an hour. I would be happy to do some interactions, question answers if anybody has.
Yeah, you can go ahead with your pace, and it's okay, no problem. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'll tell you my story. As I mentioned, I choose. My life is all about choices. And recently there is one book which is going to come up, which has 25 success stories of women entrepreneurs, and my story is one of them. So my story is all about choices I made. So when I was, I'm from a very small town called Malegaon in Nasik district, and where no major education facilities also were available. And from there, today I sit on the boards of companies which have market cap of more than 17,000 crore. So that's a journey which I have sailed through. Now, in this journey, as I mentioned, that I choose not to be in employment and start my own entrepreneurship journey. Though I had decided, I already had a wonderful ecosystem at home. My kids would have got managed by my parents-in-laws, a wonderful husband who is very supportive. But then it was my choice that what I want to do, and that's how I decided the entrepreneurship journey. Now, in this journey, if we keep expecting our families to support us, if we keep expecting, everybody around us to keep helping us, and we are not contributing anything, we are not giving back to them anything, we are not showing up the commitment what we have, given to our kids, given to our families, it's not going to work single way. It's not, a one-way traffic. It has to be a two-way traffic. Equally, when you expect people to work for you, people to accommodate you, if you're coming late at home, I've seen times, when I leave my home at around 6 o'clock in the evening and I'm coming 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the evening after completing all my meetings and all. But I know my family is going to be taken care of. So this balancing family is the most critical, part. I've especially written a book on my contribution by my mother-in-law to my life, my journey. So it's a tribute to my mother-in-law. And today I know, a lot of people tell me it's, something different which we keep hearing from you. Whereas today, most of the relationship with mother-in-laws are, spoiled. Whether you call it the TV serials which have spoiled the relationships, or, the expectations which young generation has from the seniors in the family. So seniors have equal expectations from the family, and it's always a mismatch between those expectations. So how we are balancing that, and that, once you're started with your family, it's completely taken care of. You're absolutely free to, follow your passion, follow your growth, follow your, entrepreneurship, whatever you want to do. So that is something, which is by learning. Sharpening your saw. Keep sharpening your skills. For example, when we came out of our careers, we didn't have too much of technology, so I was not aware of how the computers are run. We learned that entire Ministry of Corporate Affairs went online in 2006. So we had to learn, from physical form filing to a digital form filing. How does that happen? MCA 21 was the first government e-project, which has been the most successful project till today. And today, everything with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is online. So we need to keep on sharpening our skills. So for example, today I have a company which is a complete digital platform for directors, mentors, and corporates. It's a networking, learning, sharpening of the skills for the board leaders. And that's where when I went into it, I started learning digital marketing. I started learning how to make the creatives. So I learned Canva, so on and so forth. We need to keep sharpening our skills. Take up the formal training if you need. For example, there are a lot of crash courses, MBA courses, diploma courses. Keep taking them up. Keep grooming your personality. Very, very important. Stand up and challenge yourself. Always, when you get up in the morning, keep challenging yourself. What is it that different I'm going to do today? And let me tell you, the most important part of the business is running your business ethically. Very, very important. You will get a lot of shortcuts in life. I still remember that dialogue of Shah Rukh Khan in the movie DDLJ. You will get two roads, one right, one wrong. Wrong road will be very easy. It will attract you. It will tell you can reach to your goal short faster. But then right path will be very tough, very challenging. But if you are walking on the right path, you're going to be satisfied and reaching your goal. Even though little late, you will reach your goal. So the same rule applies to the businesses also. Look at the businesses which have taken wrong path and they've gone. So many people are in jail just because they applied some shortcuts. At the same time, so many people are successful because they have seen a consistent performance. So entrepreneurship challenges, especially when we talk of the women, mobility challenge is the most important thing. I mean, I see men, they keep traveling to this city, that city to grow their businesses. Women can't go out. I mean, practically when my kids were small, I never used to go out. Today, they have grown up, so I'm able to, move to different cities. But then mobility challenge is a challenge which usually a woman faces, but then, you can counter those challenges. It's not that, those are the limiting your growth. So, for example, if you can't go, you can hire a person who can go for you to different cities and pitch the client. Family responsibility, share it with your family. The way I said, I have a wonderful husband to support, wonderful mother-in-law. I'll tell you a wonderful relationship which my mother-in-law and my mother shares. So when my daughters were small, I had to some commitment. I had to go out for something. My mother used to come and replace my mother-in-law if she was going out somewhere. So that has to be seamless parenting. Even Indra Nui speaks a lot on creating the ecosystem around you if you have to succeed in life. Lack of support from family members, these are the challenges, but you have to overcome. Low self-confidence, as we saw, 10 lakhs tak his women, they have grown only till that level and then satisfied, itna kama rahe hain, bas ho gaya. So, there is lack of self-confidence, nahi aata hai, nahi pata hai, I can't do that, I don't know how to do that, so on and so forth. Ecosystem needs to be created and love and protection. So this is, again, I've seen in lot of family businesses. So lot of men and fathers start saying that, oh, I need to protect my daughter. She should not expose herself to this. She should not go there. She should not do this. I'll help her out. So that love and protection also is a challenge in some way or the other. Now I'll tell you a story here. When I came to Bombay, I had come to Mumbai first time after my marriage. I didn't know how the local trains work. I didn't know, from where to, I have to reach out to that place and Nariman pointer. How am I going to go? And my mother-in-law said to my husband that, you just guide her and go with her. And he told me that, okay, he guided me. Go to this station, take this train. From there you will, get down on this station. From there you take this bus. And that bus will drop you to this station and you can find out somewhere, you can ask someone. And that time, my mother-in-law was furious that why are you not going with her and, not see that. People will not see your sacrifices, your contribution. They will see what you have achieved. So always, accept that yes, that's my failure, that's my commitment, that's my sacrifices, and I'm happy about it. So again, when we talk of the success, it's something what you need to set your goals, understand the obstacles, they are going to come up, embrace the challenge, stay on track, keep focused. So this is some, kind of the entrepreneurship journey overall. Follow your dreams. I would lastly, say follow your dreams, and I'm sure you will achieve them. Thank you. So I'm open to questions and answers. I hope the session was not boring. Though the topic is, really little kind of very, different for people to understand. And especially when, at such a young age, you are, starting your careers, you're building your careers, you might have a lot of confusions, challenges, what to do, how to do. A lot of people might be guiding you. But then start thinking on what you have the capability. So open to questions if any, otherwise we can wind up.
So if anybody has any question, you can ask.
You can type in the chat box if you want to ask a question. I would be happy to answer.
Yeah. Hello, madam. It was a wonderful
Yeah.
session, and you actually covered what are real challenges of an woman entrepreneur. Yeah, and especially in India, we talk about what to say, education and progress of women, but as you rightly mentioned, in the form of love and affection, in the name of say protection. Typically, we Indians don't allow our girls or women to come forward and take up the challenges as such.
Correct.
Okay, so that is very nice point you have highlighted here, and but then that is the way our society is a long way to go ahead. Yeah, so my simple question to you is that you mentioned that you started your journey with 3 clients initially, and it happened through your networks and all those things. So, can you just tell us something about how did you raise initial capital for your business, or was there? You mentioned that actually that was just rent, something like that, but that may be
Yeah.
because of your say area. But there are other businesses where typically we need to raise initial capital for running or starting a business. So can
Yeah.
you just throw some light on that, and especially from women point of view?
Sure. So a very good point. May I know your name?
Yeah, this is Dr. Pradeep Kumar Suryavanshi.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Pradeep. So basically, when we talk of the capital, I think this is the biggest, hurdle for any entrepreneur to think on. Now, for consultants, usually it's the knowledge power that's our capital. So for us, usually that's not the challenge. But then when you're growing, when you need space, you need team to hire, you need more kind of resources to serve clients. You definitely need capital. Now, when I started my journey, I mentioned that I had a small office, a table, a computer. So that was from the initial savings what I had from my previous employment and like that. But I'll give you an example. For example, one person who started her career as she started a boutique. Now she wanted to kind of start a boutique from home. So she took 8,000 rupees from friends and family, maybe her in-laws and all, and then she started. So today, from that 8,000, she has grown her business to 10 lakh rupees of turnover. She rotates money. She doesn't sacrifice lot of things, and then that money keeps rotating in the business, and today her capital has gone to 10 lakhs. That's a working capital basically. Now there are a lot of government schemes. I've also seen a woman entrepreneur who sold her gold jewelry and then got her initial capital. So the SIDB, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, startups have a lot of stand up. I think Stand Up India is a special scheme for women entrepreneurs, which gives without collateral loan to women entrepreneurs. And I think, and if I'm not mistaken, every bank branch has given clear instruction they should fund at least one women entrepreneur. So there are various schemes, but definitely the raising a capital is a challenge, and this is something you need to, the first initial time of the entrepreneurship journey is about exploring. So you need to be nobody outsider is going to come and give you money and say that okay, this is the money and start your business. It's always going to be from friends and families. So you need to even identify and synergize. For example, I have a wonderful idea, but I don't know how do I do that. And I have a kind of a friend or a family member who's also a woman. She has to do something, but she has money, but she doesn't know how to do it, how to use it. So there comes a synergy. There comes a uh, the I can say the feeling of sisterhood that let's start together. So those kind of synergies can be created. Now lot of usually men also keep supporting women. So you need to see who are those your well wishers in the initial stages. That's called bootstrap. Any business which starts with the bootstrapping. Then the comes is the friends and family. Then comes is the angel investors who initially invest in your business. You need to dilute higher stake when you are giving them the stake in the business, because somebody is putting in their money, they will definitely expect the returns on it. Then comes is your venture capital. Then comes is your the bigger investment bankers do come in and invest through their investors. And then is the stage of getting your company on the IPO and raising funds from public. So it's the capital evolution is itself a journey. But initial capital will come from bootstrap and family business, family members. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good session. So I just want to ask you, like, we as a woman, we are not, good in our finance. So how do we enhance our finance skills?
Okay. So, see, finance is something, if you are a commerce, graduate, you will know your basics of debit, credit, accounting. But then if you're not from a finance field, you are from a science or an arts field. Today, we live in the world of digital technology. You can Google, you can, there are so many YouTube channels on financial literacy. There are so many people who keep conducting those interactions, keep conducting those training courses on the financial literacy. I think Udemy has courses. I think Upgrad, these kind of platforms are there which keep making you understand that how do you manage your finance, working capital, cash flow, what your business is going to need, the capex, capital expenditure, what is needed, the operational expenses, how do you manage your compensation for your employees. So a lot of aspects can be learned today. You need to kind of identify what are the gaps at your level, as you rightly said, if you want to upskill. So first thing is you need to identify what are my skills which I need to groom on. Keep learning, go learn, implement. That is more important. And lot of times it will happen that you may fail, you may make wrong decision, but then all the failures, all the mistakes give us some learning and we move ahead. So I think today learning is not at all a challenge with this so much of floods of information, floods of courses in the industry today. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.
Madam, one more question from my side. Yeah.
Ajit.
So you mentioned the importance of the team also in the starting phases of your business, and later on also after that also you should have a team of people who are trustworthy, reliable, and proactive in their work. So how do you manage to get these kind of people? It's it's a very difficult task typically, especially when you are starting up, because people will look at the team also and what is their credential and potential.
Correct. So, sorry. See, HR, human resource, India is the youngest nation in the world, and definitely we have a very talented pool of human resource today as compared to the world. I mean that's a proven fact. You see entire world, and lot of companies have Indian leaders today. So talent is not a problem. Retaining right talent, identifying right talent, and making them grow with you is the differentiating factor. for any successful entrepreneur. So, for example, I keep interacting with Motilalji Oswal, and recently they completed their 35 years of being in business. So, what he mentioned that he started two founders, Motilal Oswal, Ramdev Agrawal, one office boy, one peon. To today, they have 10,000 employees. So that's a journey, right? Most important thing is when you're hiring people, hire for attitude, fire for performance. That's very important. Again, at the same time, when you have employees who are showing you performance, you need to keep adding value to the employees also. We can't keep only taking and extracting the employees or exploiting the employees, making them work more than what they are doing. But we need to be kind of agile. We kind of the environment, the culture of the organization, all these things and all these factors kind of add value to the employees. And anyone, I mean, today we talk of, I mean, you name the companies and we will say, okay, I want to work for that company. For example, Infosys, I want to work for that company. If someone talks of Tatas, we think of trust. The Tatas are trust, right? So anyone would say, yes, I want to work for the Tata companies. So you need to build on that culture, and that takes time. So for example, if I'm talking about my journey, I started with single. I was only working. When I saw that I need more people, I need I'm getting good business, I need to work on it. I had first employee, then I had two employees, then I had three, four. Now people will keep coming, keep going, because everyone will have their own expectations in life, their own journeys in life. But as a business, as an entrepreneur, what values you're creating? And again, most important thing is creating systems, processes in the company so that employees feel safe. They feel that yes, if something happens, this is something, this is which is going to be followed. If I have to take leave, okay, I have a leave of so many days in the year. So they are also comfortable. And most important, I always used to tell people that I don't mind when you're coming, when you're going. That's perfectly your lookout. What I mean is the clients have to be served to the best. I should not get any complaints from anyone. The moment I get complaint, I know what I am supposed to do. So when you are giving them flexibility to make decisions, when you are giving them flexibility to grow with you, that's the time you retain employees. Thank you. I hope it I was able to give you answer.
Yes, madam. Yeah, thank you very
And
much.
let me tell you, attrition today, even best of the best, IT industries today is the maximum attrition happening. I mean, you see the exodus, resignations happening. I mean, I think great resignation is happening in US. A lot of people are resigning and entering into entrepreneurship. You can't stop that. What you can stop is, retaining good people with you in your journey.
Yeah.
And how you're going to retain, there are ways to retain people.
Okay. So by the time others have questions, can I go ahead with one more question? Can I take that liberty?
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So as I mentioned in the start of this session, that I am like faculty in charge for ECEL of the BIT, and our students are very active, and many students come up with very nice ideas. We conduct competitions related to hackathons, you can say. Okay. And at the end of the competition, there are typical very nice ideas which can be actually taken to market, and students can start their own startup. Okay, but the moment we ask the students to actually incorporate a company or come up with their prototype for their idea, the kind of work involved is then it really starts. The involvement, the kind of risk they are going to take, and then there is a fear factor, as you rightly mentioned in your presentation. So, how do you, or what is your take on this, and how can we tackle this? Because another thing is that like parents pressure is also there, because our students are engineering students, 4 years they are into under their requirement is that they should go for masters in Western world or in India itself, or a good job. Typically Indian culture is like this: you have a good degree and go for a good job. Okay.
So in fact, I'll tell you, probably I have also, I'm also a mentor of change with Niti Aayog. So I have also taken a lot of sessions for the entrepreneurs. I have been associated with few incubation centers, so I keep guiding there on the compliances, company formation. What are the best forms of starting up the business, the initial compliance requirements which you need to do, um, and also the intellectual property rights and so on and so forth. So I've seen a lot of businesses, and I truly agree that initially, because the students are fresh, they don't have that experience of entrepreneurship. I started my entrepreneurship journey after being 4 years in the corporate, and that time I was little mature. I knew what kind of corporate world is, how do you talk to people. Your communication skills are improved by that time to talk, but initial phases there are challenges, I completely agree. But then in such situations, as that slide which spoke about the fear and the ambition, now what is more, you need to balance it. If the fear is more, let the person go into the employment, explore them, and once they come out of that, and then they can cultivate their idea to a business idea. But if the ambition is more, then that fear can be reduced by grooming, by kind of mentoring, by giving them right support, by showing them that this idea is good, you have the potential, probably backing it up with some market research, getting some people, real people to show that person or that entrepreneur that your idea has a great weightage, and giving them that ecosystem. I think that's how you can counter it, because at that phase, even I'm sure parents will have their own. And one thing, somebody told me, in India we don't allow people to fail. In US they have a they fail fast, they fail forward. In India, failure in startups is taken as a negative impact, that oh, you failed, you know and then after failure, if you are going in employment, that's seen as a negative impact. But then in the west worlds, and that's where their startup journey is much different than what we have in India. But yes, that is a challenge, because you can convince a person to a level, beyond that you cannot. So it's about balancing between the fear and the ambition. If the fears are more, let them go. If the ambition is more, then you can nurture and cultivate them.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. Ananya, if there are other questions, we can continue. Otherwise, we can close.
Yes, sir. So if there are no more questions, I request Professor Pallavi ma'am to propose the vote of thanks for today.
Yes, thank you for giving me this privilege to propose the vote of thanks. I extend a hearty vote of thanks to Divya Madam for delivering an excellent session. Ma'am, you have inspired not only women, but also others present over here to take up an entrepreneurship seriously. You said that everything in this world gets created twice, once in our mind and other is in reality. Today, you have encouraged most of us to bring our thoughts in reality. Now I thank management for providing all kind of support in organizing this event. I thank our student coordinators Ananya Solanki and James John for giving the technical support, and also the entire eCell student team. I also thank all participants for their presence. And once again, ma'am, thank you so much for this wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving the opportunity. I hope I was able to add value.
I request everyone to put on their cameras for a photo. Everyone, please turn your cameras on. Okay, can more people turn on their camera? Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Please join another session at 2 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Students, you can leave.